I killed my brother that night, not with my hands, but with the truth I'd buried deeper than his coffin. The words hung in the air like smoke from a backfired gun. We expected more from you, Emery. My mother's voice cracked like cheap porcelain under the fluorescent kitchen light of our old ranch house in suburban Ohio. The kind of place where neighbors mow lawns on Sundays and pretend the American dream isn't rotting from the inside. Dad just nodded, his jaw set like he was chewing on regret, eyes fixed on the linoleum floor where a coffee stain from last week's fight still mocked us. But I wasn't done. I slipped the tiny recorder from my pocket, thumb hovering over play, and whispered, "Listen close, because this is the part where the fairy tale ends." It started 6 years ago, back when I was 22. Fresh out of community college with a nursing degree that felt like a consolation prize for the family legacy I'd never claim. Our town, Elmwood, was the epitome of flyover country, strip malls with flickering neon signs, high school football games that doubled as social therapy, and enough opioid ghosts to fill a stadium. My brother, Harlan, was the golden boy. 2 years older. He had that effortless charm, quarterback in high school, sales rep for a pharma giant now, with a smile that could sell ice to Eskimos and a fiancée named Lila who baked apple pies like she was auditioning for a Hallmark card.
Me?
I was the fixer, the one who bandaged knees and held hair back during puke fests, the daughter who stayed home to help mom after dad's mill job went overseas. The betrayal hit like a freight train on a foggy morning. It was Harlan's bachelor party weekend, destination Vegas. Baby. The one indulgence our Protestant-raised asses ever chased. He begged me to come, said it was family bonding before he tied the knot. I laughed it off at first. Why would the black sheep tag along with the frat boy crew? But he wore me down with that puppy dog plea. And hell, I needed the break from charting vitals in the ER. So I flew out, landing in the neon inferno of the Strip, where sin whispered promises in every slot machine chime. That first night, we hit the Bellagio fountains. Harlan slinging arms around buddies from college, shots of Patron flowing like the Colorado River. I nursed a gin and tonic, playing wingwoman, deflecting the inevitable. So, you his sister? You look alike, same killer cheekbones. By midnight, the group splintered. Poker tables for the high rollers, club for the dancers. Harlan pulled me aside in the lobby, eyes glassy but earnest.
Ink.
I gotta tell you something. It's big. Life-changing big. My stomach twisted. Booze confessions were never good news. We ducked into a quiet lounge off the casino floor, velvet booths swallowing our words. He leaned in, breath hot with tequila. I'm not who you think I am. Remember that accident last summer? The one with Dad's truck? I froze. Last summer, Harlan borrowed Dad's F-150 for a quick errand, came back with a crumpled fender and a story about a deer. Insurance covered it. No cops. Just a slap on the wrist. What about it? I asked, voice barely above the jazz trio sax. It wasn't a deer.
Eminencia.
It was Mikey. Mikey Reynolds. Mikey. Our neighbor's kid. 17 and full of that reckless fire only small-town teens know. He'd been joyriding on back roads, Harlan tailing him in the truck for kicks, some dumbass race to blow off steam after Harlan's latest quota miss at work. Mikey swerved, clipped a guardrail, flipped. Harlan braked too late, sideswiped the wreck. Kid died on impact, pinned in the mangled Civic. Harlan sobbed it out then, face buried in his hands, the golden boy crumbling into fool's gold. I panicked. Called you from the payphone at the gas station.
You.
You covered for me. I had. God help me. I had. That night. Phone buzzing at 2 a.m. Harlan's voice erect. I fucked up. Bad. Come get me. I drove out in my Civic. Found him shaking by the truck. Blood on the grill that was an animal. No body. Mikey's car had veered into the ravine. Flames licking the underbrush before the fire department even rolled up. Harlan babbled about witnesses, about jail, about how one mistake would torch the family rep.
And me?
Fresh off a 12-hour shift. Empathy my curse. I hosed down the truck in the backyard under moonlight. Lied to the cops about the deer when they canvassed. Even slipped Mikey's wallet, dropped in the chaos, into the river so it looked like a runaway. You took the fall, Harlan whispered now. In that Vegas booth. Not the legal one, but the guilt. Mom and Dad think you're the screw-up. The one who wrecked the truck joyriding with boyfriends. I let them. It was easier. Easier. The word slithered like a snake in Eden. All those family dinners where Dad's disappointment drilled into me like a power tool. Emery, when are you going to step up like your brother? Mom's sighs. The way she'd clutch her rosary after my late nights that were really alibis for him. I'd swallowed it. Told myself it was love, protecting the prodigal son. But Vegas has a way of unearthing rot. Harlan kept talking. The floodgates cracked. There's more. The pharma gig? It's not sales.
It's
pushing samples. Off-book. Doc's in bed with us. Scripts flying for Oxy like candy at Halloween. Mikey's dad. Mr. Reynolds, he figured it out. After the crash. He came sniffing. Said he'd bury me unless I hooked him up.
So I did.
And it spiraled. Harlan's eyes darted to the door. Paranoia etched in every line. He's got dirt.
Eminencia.
Recordings. If it leaks, we're all done. Recordings. The irony burned hotter than blackjack losses. He wanted my help again. Nurse the beast. Cover the tracks. Go to Reynolds, he pleaded. Charm him. You're good at that. Buy time till the wedding. Then we ghost the life. I stared at him. The brother I'd idolized. Now a stranger in khakis and regret. And if I say no? He laughed. Bitter as bad coffee. Then Mikey's ghost haunts us all. I didn't say no. Not then. I said I'd think. Nursed my drink till it drowned the nausea. And slipped back to the group like nothing fractured. But inside, gears turned. Revenge isn't born in screams. It's forged in the quiet calculus of what-ifs. What if I'd let the cops pin it on him? What if Mom and Dad knew their saint was a sinner? By dawn, as the sun bleached the desert gold, I had a plan. Not the Harlan plan.
Mine.
We flew home separately, me first class on points I'd saved from overtime. Him coach with the boys. Elmwood welcomed me back with gray skies and a stack of bills. Work swallowed me, bedpans and beeping monitors. The ER a battlefield where I stitched wounds I couldn't see. Harlan called daily. Updates on Lila's dress fittings. Reynolds' latest threats. He wants double the shipment, he'd hiss.
Ink.
You're my only shot. I played along. Met Reynolds at his trailer park dive. The air thick with Pall Mall smoke and despair. Mr. Reynolds was a husk, once a line worker like Dad. Now propped on disability and grudges. Mikey's photo watched from the mantel. Gap-toothed grin frozen at 16. Your brother's poison, he growled. shoving a baggie of pills across the Formica table. Killed my boy. Then feeds me this shit to shut me up. I nodded. The good sister. Slipped him cash from Harlan's emergencies, all while palming his phone when he stepped out for a piss. The recordings were there. Harlan's voice. Tinny and terrified. Negotiating doses like a back-alley dealer. Double it. Or the tape goes to the sheriff. I copied them that night in my apartment, the one above the laundromat with roaches for roommates. Played them on loop. Each betrayal a scalpel carving deeper. Harlan wasn't just sloppy, he was systematic. The crash? Cover for a drop-off gone wrong. Mikey caught him mid-handover. Chased him for a cut. Harlan swerved to shake him. Not raced for fun. My lie. My river dive. Shielded a killer twice over. And the family? They'd chosen him blind. Shipped me off to find myself after the accident, while he climbed corporate ladders greased with grief. Months blurred. Wedding bells loomed, Lila's dream affair at the country club. White tents and string quartet, the whole town toasting the all-American couple. I was bridesmaid. Naturally. The spinster shadow in seafoam silk. Harlan cornered me at the rehearsal dinner. Bourbon on his breath. Reynolds is quiet. You worked magic.
Sis.
Magic. I smiled. Clinked glasses. But my free hand gripped the recorder in my clutch like a grenade pin. That's when the first flip happened. Lila, tipsy on rose, pulled me into the ladies' room mirror maze. Emery, he's scared of you. You know? Says you're the family enforcer. She giggled, but her eyes held questions, bruises under concealer. Excuses for late nights. He loves you more than me. Sometimes. I wanted to spill then. Flood her with the filth. But revenge is patient. I hugged her instead. Whispered, he's lucky to have us both. The ceremony was flawless. Ohio sun gilding the aisle like holy water. Vows exchanged. Cake cut. Harlan's toast slurring gratitude to the women who hold us up. I caught Reynolds in the shadows, nursing a flask, his glare a promise of chaos. He cornered Harlan post-reception, words lost in the valet din. But the shove was clear, deals off. Or else. Harlan texted me at 3 a.m., help. Parking lot.
Now.
I drove, heart hammering like a bass drum. Found them grappling by the clubhouse dumpsters. Reynolds' knife glinting under sodium lights, not lethal, but enough to scar. You think pills buy silence? Reynolds spat. Harlan wheezed. Emery's here. She'll fix it. I stepped in, voice steady as Tria. Enough. Mr. Reynolds, let's talk terms. Harlan, back off. They separated. Beasts leashed. And I brokered peace with promises I never meant to keep. Double drops. Triple hush money. Reynolds pocketed the blade. Harlan exhaled relief. But as I drove him home, he turned, eyes feral. You should have let me handle it. Now he owns us.
Owned.
The word festered. Back in my ER scrubs. I plotted. The recordings weren't enough. They needed amplification. I started small. Anonymous tips to Harlan's boss. Whispers of irregular scripts that triggered audits. His quotas tanked. Lila's question sharpened. Then, the real play, befriending Lila over coffee runs. Dropping breadcrumbs. Harlan stressed. Work stuff. She'd nod. But the cracks showed, canceled dates. His phone glued to his palm. By fall, the leaves turned blood red. mirroring the ledger. Reynolds escalated, demanding meetings in abandoned lots. His trailer a no-go with parole checks. Harlan flipped again, blaming me. This is your fault.
Eminencia.
You poked the bear. I laughed.
Cold as November wind.
My fault? I carried your corpse for years. He lunged, hand raised, but dropped it. Brother's love. Or coward's calculus. Please, he begged. One more cover.
No.
The hooks sank deep that night. As I sat in my car outside their colonial recorder whirring a fresh confession. Harlan. Drunk dialing. If it comes out, I'll take you down too. We sink together. Together. The lie that bound us. Now the noose. Winter clamped Elmwood in ice. The mill's skeleton looming like a bad omen. Mom called. Voice laced with that maternal guilt trip. Harlan's struggling. Honey. Lila's talking divorce. Come for Christmas. Family first. Family. The word tasted like arsenic. I agreed. Packed the recorder like contraband. Flew into Columbus on Southwest.
Economy tight as my chest.
The house smelled of pine and pot roast. Dad's recliner creaking under Fox News drone. Harlan arrived late.
Hollow-eyed.
Lila absent with a migraine. Dinner was a minefield. Small talk about my steady job, probes into why I was still single at 28. Then it landed, the bomb I'd primed for months. Dad cleared his throat, fork scraping plate. Emery, we've been meaning to talk. About the truck thing. All those years back. We know you were going through stuff.
But
we expected more from you. Mom chimed in, her napkin twisting like a noose. You're better than that wild phase. Sweetheart. Harlan's got his plate full now. Lila's expecting. Did he tell you? Expecting. A child in this cesspool. My fork clattered. The room tilting. Harlan's eyes met mine across the turkey carcass. Warning. Or plea. I pushed back my chair. The scrape echoing like a verdict. Wild phase. That's what you call it. Dad frowned. The patriarch mass cracking. What else? Joyriding at your age. Lying to us. We forgave. But Harlan's perfect. Right? The words erupted. Venom I couldn't swallow. Mom's hand fluttered to her throat. Emery, that's not fair. Your brothers built the life. Built on bones. I reached into my coat. The recorder cold as justice. Listen. Then judge. I hit play. Volume cranked to drown the grandfather clock's tick. Harlan's voice filled the kitchen. Tinny from that Vegas booth. It wasn't a deer.
Eminencia.
It was Mikey. I panicked.
Called you.
You covered for me. Gasps rippled. Mom's a wheeze. Dad's a grunt. Harlan bolted up. Chair toppling. Turn it off. But I held firm. The flood unstopped. Reynolds trailer audio next. Your brother's poison. Killed my boy. Harlan's negotiations. Slurred deals. The knife-edge threats. The family portrait on the wall. Us at Disney. Grins painted on. Seemed to mock the unraveling. Silence crashed when it ended. Heavier than snow on branches. Mom clutched Dad's arm. Tears carving rivers. Harlan, tell me it's not. He crumpled into his seat. Face ashen. It was an accident.
Mom.
Mikey, he came at me. Emery knew. I cut him off. Voice steel. I knew because you made me your shield. Years of your screw-ups on my tab. Dad's eyes bored into Harlan, the golden boy tarnished. Son. Harlan spilled then. A dam burst. The race. The swerve. The fire that swallowed Mikey whole. The pills. Reynolds' blackmail. The corporate ladder climbed on crushed spines. Lila's pregnancy. A Hail Mary to glue the cracks. I was trapped.
Dad.
The job demands quotas. Everyone does it. Excuses. Slick as oil. Mom sobbed. Our boy. A killer? Not killer. I thought. Architect of ruin. But the word hung. Controversial as a loaded gun in church. I could have stopped there. Let the shards embed. But revenge thrives on salt. There's more, I said, cueing the finale, Harlan's drunk dial. If it comes out, I'll take you down too. His head snapped up. You recorded that? After everything? Everything. The word ignited. Everything? Like me scrubbing blood from your truck? Lying to cops while you partied? Or Mom and Dad shipping me to therapy for issues that were your ghosts? Dad stood, slow as Judgment Day. Emery, why didn't you tell us?
Why?
The question clawed. Because love's a blindfold. Because family's the ultimate con. Blood thicker than ink. But just as erasable. I protected him.
For you.
Mom reached for me, but I stepped back. Harlan lunged across the table, grabbing my wrist. You're ruining us. For what? Some hillbilly's kid. Reynolds' son. Mikey, with dreams of mechanic school, snuffed for Harlan's high. The fight spilled into the living room, ornaments tinkling like chimes of doom. Dad shoved Harlan against the tree, lights flickering. You let your sister carry this? Our daughter. Harlan shoved back, eyes wild. She chose to. Always the martyr. Martyr. The label stung, but truth twisted it. I'd chosen silence for peace. For the myth of us.
Now.
The myth bled out. Cops weren't called, not yet. Small town code. Air laundry in private. But Lila showed by morning. Suitcase in hand. The pregnancy test a pink accusation. I heard the voicemails. Harlan. Emery sent them. Sent. I'd forwarded one. Anonymous. A seed in fertile soil. She faced me in the hallway, belly just budding under her coat. Why? Because women like us clean up. But sometimes we burn the house. Ask him, I said. She did. And the flip came swift, Harlan on his knees, begging forgiveness, promising rehab, a clean slate. Lila wavered, hand on her bump, the controversy raw. Forgive the father, or orphan the unborn. I left that Christmas Eve, driving through slush to my apartment, recorder tucked like a talisman. Elmwood's lights blurred in the rearview. A town built on secrets. Work called, New Year's shift. Drunks and despair. But the calls flooded, Mom's pleas. Dad's grunts of apology. Harlan's rages. You're dead to me.
Eminencia. Dead.
Ironic. From the gravedigger. Spring thawed the ground, but not the chill. Harlan's job imploded, audit hit. Feds sniffing opioids like bloodhounds. He flipped again, suing Reynolds for extortion, painting himself victim in lawyer briefs. The town buzzed, church whispers, barstool verdicts. That Harlan kid, always too smooth. Lila stuck, but the ring stayed off. Counseling sessions her new confessor.
Me?
I got a raise. Transferred to Columbus General. Trading scrubs for a studio with skyline views. Distance as armor. Reynolds reached out. Not for blood, but alliance. Met at a Waffle House off I-71. Hash browns steaming like peace offerings. Heard the family imploded.
Good. His eyes.
Mikey's eyes. Held no gratitude, just hollow. But it's not enough. Kid's ghost needs justice. Justice. The word debated in my mind, courtroom chains, or vigilante ink. I slid him copies. The full archive. Use it. But leave my name out. He nodded. But his grin said otherwise, cunning fox. Flipping sides like Harlan. Summer scorched. Barbecues masking the boil. Harlan's trial loomed. Manslaughter for Mikey. Distribution charges stacking like Jenga. He called from jail. Collect. Testify for me. Say it was mutual. Mutual. The lie evolved. I hung up. But doubt crept. Blood's pull. The what-ifs of a niece or nephew without uncles. Lila texted. He's broken. For the baby? Controversy incarnate. Redeem the irredeemable. Or let rot consume. I visited him in county. Orange jumpsuit clashing with fluorescent hell. Why?
Ink.
Revenge for what? I was saving us.
Saving.
The delusion dripped. You saved yourself. On my back. He leaned in. Voice a serpent's hiss. Then finish it. Kill me proper. Tempting. But death's too easy. Living with mirrors is the blade. The trial opened in August. Elmwood Courthouse a circus. Reporters from Cleveland. Locals picketing with signs. Justice for Mikey. Versus. Free Harlan. Accident. I sat in the back. Anonymous in sunglasses. Heart a war drum. Prosecutors played the tapes. Harlan's voice damning as Judas. His lawyer flipped it. Coerced. Blackmailed. A good man cornered. Witnesses piled. Co-workers swearing clean sales. Lila tearful on the stand. Hand on belly. He's changed. Changed. The word mocked. My turn came. Subpoenaed as key witness. The stand felt like gallows. Judge's gavel a heartbeat. MS. Hail. Did you aid in covering the incident? Truth or shield? I glanced at Mom and Dad in the gallery. Aged a decade in months, Mom's rosary clicking, Dad's fists clenched. Harlan stared. Eyes pleading flip. Yes, I said. Voice steady. I hosed the truck. Lied to police. Because he was my brother. Gasps rippled. Prosecutor pounced. Why? Because love's blind. But not anymore. Family. The jury deliberated 3 days. Town dividing like Red Sea. Guilty on distribution. Manslaughter hung. Controversial verdict. Mistrial buzz. Harlan walked on a technical. Bond pending appeal. But the stench clung. Lila left that night. Filing for divorce in a lawyer's office smelling of ink and finality. The baby? Hers alone. A new start in Cincinnati. Fall winds howled as I packed for good. Columbus my exile. Nursing charts my confessor. Reynolds won a civil suit. Payout slim, but symbolic. His trailer upgraded to a double wide. He sent a card. Ghost's quiet now. Thanks. Kid. Thanks. The word sat uneasy. Had I avenged? Or just traded one grave for another? Harlan vanished. Rumors of Mexico. A cousin's couch in Phoenix. Mom called weekly. Bridges half-mended. We were wrong about you.
Emery.
Our rock.
Rock.
Buried under lies. But uncrushed. Dad sent a check. For the move. Proud.
Proud.
The closest to sorry. But the twist waited in winter's grip. A call from an unknown. Lila's voice.
Strained. Ink.
It's time. The baby's coming. Harlan. He came back. Back. The flip eternal. I raced to the hospital. Columbus traffic a snarl of holiday horns and slush. The ER doors whooshed me into chaos, beeping monitors. Harried docs in reindeer scrubs. Lila, in labor and delivery. Pale under the lights. Gripping the bed rail like a lifeline. He showed up at my door last night, she gasped between contractions. Begging. Said he'd turn himself in after. After. The word hung. Ambiguous as a plea bargain. Harlan paced the hall, gaunt in a hoodie that swallowed him, eyes darting like a cornered wolf. He saw me.
Froze. Imminência.
Didn't think you'd come. For her? Or the blood? I brushed past, into the room where nurses fluttered like midwives in a nativity play. Lila's eyes locked on mine. Stay. I nodded. Took her hand, sister-in-law's. The bond we'd forged in whispers. Hours blurred. Pushes. Curses. The miracle wail at 4:17 a.m.
A boy.
7 pounds even. Tiny fists flailing like his uncles once did. They named him Elias, Hebrew for "The Lord is my God," Lila said. A talisman against our sins. Harlan hovered at the glass, face pressed to nursery window, tears streaking like rain on pain. My son, he mouthed. Son. The claim controversial? A father's right or a felon's folly? We discharged 2 days later. Me driving Lila's SUV through dawn's pink haze to her apartment, a one-bed in a high-rise. Views of the Scioto River mocking domestic dreams. Harlan followed in a rental, taillights winking promises. At the door, he tried, let me help. Diapers. Bottles, I'm clean now. AA meetings. The works. Lila wavered. Elias bundled in her arms. 1 week. Trial basis. Trial.
Fitting.
I crashed on the couch that week. Anti by default. Changing midnight blowouts while they tiptoed around eggshells. Harlan flipped domestic. Bottles warmed. Lullabies hummed off-key. His sales pattern now coos.
See?
I'm here. But nights. When babies slept. The mask slipped. Lila cornered me in the kitchenette. Coffee bitter as doubt.
He's got a plan.
Turn state's evidence. Rat out the farmer ring for immunity.
Rat.
The word slithered. Betrayal's echo. And Mikey, she shrugged. Exhaustion etching lines.
Past.
This is future. Future. I watched him rock Elias. The scene almost holy. Redemption arc in Pampers. But doubt gnawed. Flips like his were habits. Not hurdles. Reynolds called midweek. Voice gravel over the line. Heard the kid. Congrats to the sinner. No warmth. Just warning. Feds approached me. Want my tapes for the big fish. Big fish, Harlan's bosses. Suits in boardrooms peddling death. You in?
In.
The decision loomed. Controversial as mercy. Harlan sensed the tide. Cornered me on the fire escape one dusk. City lights winking below.
Ink.
Don't fuck this.
For the baby. For the baby.
The shield anew. Or what? Another recording. He laughed.
Hollow.
You win.
Sis.
Always do.
Win.
But victory tasted like ash. The family fractured beyond glue. Lila extended the week to 2. Then a month. Elias thrived. Chubby cheeks a bomb. Mom and Dad visited. Tentative bridges, diapers cooed over. Harlan hugged stiff. Proud of you, son.
Proud.
The word recycled. Controversial in context. I slipped away, back to shifts and solitude. But the pull lingered, blood's gravity. Spring bloomed treacherous. Harlan's deal crystallized. Testimony for probation. The ring dismantled in a splashy DOJ presser. Reporters swarmed Elmwood. Our old house a sideshow. He flipped informant. Names dropped like confetti, docs, execs. The pipeline exposed. Headline screamed, Pharma whistleblower walks free.
Free.
The controversy ignited forums. Protests, victims' families picketing courts. Justice denied, signs clashing with rehab over revenge. Reynolds seethed. Called me from a bar stool. Your brother's a snake.
Testifies.
Gets a slap, while Mikey rots.
Rot.
The word festered. I met him in a park. Dogwoods shedding pink like apologies. What now? He pulled a flash drive. New dirt. Harlan's post-jail calls. Cutting side deals with feds for book rights. Monetizing murder.
Cunning.
Always the flip. I held it. Thunder rumbling distant.
Confront.
Or let karmas will turn. Lila texted. He's distant again. Elias asks for Uncle M. Uncle M. The hook sank. I drove to their place. Found Harlan packing suitcase by the door.
Ticket to LA.
Book tour advance, he grinned. Fresh start.
Fresh.
The lie, eternal. You leaving them? My voice cracked. Betrayal's echo. He shrugged. Lila gets child support. I'm toxic here. Toxic. Self-aware at last. And Mikey? The deal? He waved it off. Feds have enough. I'm the hero now.
Hero.
The delusion peaked. I didn't play the new recording, not then. Instead, I nodded, hugged him goodbye. The scent of his cologne a ghost of Vegas. Take care, brother.
Care.
The word laced with barbs. He left at dawn. Cab idling like a getaway car. Elias's cry the soundtrack. Lila crumbled post-departure. Elias in daycare. Her shifts at the bank a grind. We leaned on each other. Wine nights. Park walks. The anti-roll solidified. You warned me, she said one evening. River glittering below. But love's blind.
Blind.
We'd both been. Summer sizzled. The pharma fallout rippling. Execs indicted. Scripts curtailed. But the streets still hummed with synthetics. Reynolds won his payout. Moved to Florida. Trailer to condo. Mikey's photo packed careful. Ghosts travel light, he texted.
Light.
But mine weighed tons. Harlan's book dropped in fall. Ghostrin tell-all. From gridiron to guilty, my descent and rise. Bestseller bait. Oprah whispers. He called. Voice slick. Buy it.
Eminencia.
Dedications to you.
To me.
The irony burned. I did. Read in one sitting. The lies leaping, me as enabler, not savior, Mikey as troubled kid aggressor, family as supportive saints.
Saints.
The flip complete. Reviews debated. Hero or hustler? Forums split, some hailed redemption. Others cried cop-out. I stewed, the drive in my pocket a bomb. Lila saw the arc on my table. Flipped pages. Face hardening. This, after everything? Everything. She packed that night. Elias to her sisters. Divorce papers expedited. Winter returned. Snow blanketing sins. Mom's cancer diagnosis hit like shrapnel, stage 3. The mill's legacy toxins. Dad called. Voice breaking. Come home.
Iminência.
For her. Home. The word pulled. Controversial as forgiveness. I did. Weekends in Elmwood. Chemo runs and casserole vigils. Harlan appeared. Fresh from signings. Armani over ashes. Family reunion, he quipped. But Mom's eyes held accusation. Weak but sharp. The flip came hospice-bound. Harlan at her bedside. Confessing clean. I was lost.
Ma.
But M saved me.
Saved.
The word twisted. Mom beckoned me close. Whisper frail. He's lying still. Always was. Always. The deathbed truth. Controversial in quiet. She passed in March. Cherry blossoms mocking the grave. Funeral packed, town hypocrites in black. Harlan eulogizing like a pro. Mom taught unconditional love. Unconditional. The lie peaked. Dad pulled me aside post-burial. Checkbook out.
Yours now.
The house. The savings. Harlan's cut goes to you.
To me.
The inheritance poisoned. Lila resurfaced. Elias toddling. Her new job in marketing aglow. We're good, she said over coffee. No more ghosts.
Good.
But mine lingered. Reynolds' card arrived spring, saw the obit. Justice half done. Finish it. Finish. The decision loomed. Harlan's tour hitting Ohio. Bookstore signing in Columbus. Crowds clamoring. I went. Anonymous in the throng. Recorder, now app on my phone armed. Q&A dragged. Redemption tales. Fan selfies. My turn. For the sister who carried your sins. What's her share? He blinked. Smile faltering. Emery? She's my rock. Rock. I hit play. New audio booming from speakers, his LA. Calls. Deal cutting glee. Gasps rippled. Phones out. The viral spark. Chaos erupted. Security swarmed. Harlan's face crumpling live on TikTok. You bitch, he roared. But Mike's caught it all. Feds called next day, deal revoked. Cuffs pending. Lila watched the clip. Texted, thank you. Think. The word clean at last. But the twist uncoiled in summer's heat. Dad's letter. Postmarked weeks old.
Ink.
I knew. About the truck.
Mikey.
Harlan confessed years back. We chose silence for the family.
Chose.
The betrayal doubled. Parents complicit. I burned it. Ashes to the Scioto. But the scar itched. Harlan pled out. 5 years federal. Book yanked. From prison, he wrote, you win. But Elias? Tell him Uncle M loved fierce.
Loved.
The controversy eternal, villain or victim. I visited once. Through plexi. His eyes hollow. Why the endgame? Endgame. Balance, I said. Balance. But scales tipped uneasy. Fall leaves turned. Elias started preschool. Lila dated a teacher, stable, unscarred. Dad downsized. Golf in Florida. Calls sporadic. Reynolds vanished to Keys. Fishing poles his therapy. Winter whispered closure. But revenge's echo debated. Hero's justice. Or family's pyre. Elias's 5th birthday fell on a crisp April Saturday. Balloons bobbing like defiant hopes in Lila's backyard. The kid had Harlan's cheekbones. My dimple, genetics cruel collage. Lila grilled burgers. Her laugh lighter now. The teacher, Mark flipping patties with easy charm. Uncle M. Elias barreled into me. Sticky fingers on my jeans. A gap-toothed grin erasing shadows. Uncle M. The title stuck. Controversial in its innocence. I'd moved up, head nurse at the children's ward. Charting futures while dodging pasts. Columbus suited. Anonymous bustle. Riverwalk solo. But Elmwood pulled. Dad's occasional barbecues a tether. He'd remarried quick. Widowers were bound to a widow from church. Potlucks and cruises their rhythm. Happy. He'd say.
Happy.
The word foreign. But I nodded. Faked the smile. Harlan's appeals dragged. Prison letters sporadic. Elias draw for me? Drawings forwarded. Crayon scrawls of stick-figure families.
Me tallest. Tall.
The protector myth endured. Feds squeezed him dry. Testimony tapes public now. Pharma execs toppling like dominoes. Headlines faded. But scars itched. Reynolds' civil win funded a scholarship. Mikey's mechanics. Kids wrenching engines under sun. Lila confided over cake. Mark proposes soon. You approve. Approve. The auntie's veto. Light as frosting. He's solid. Elias loves him. Loves. The verb loaded. She hugged me.
Fierce.
You gave us this.
This.
The fragile piece. But peace fractures easy. May brought the call. Harlan's parole hearing advanced. Good behavior and remorse. Dad pushed. Give a statement.
Eminencia.
For family.
Family.
The ghost convened. I agreed. Not for him, but curiosity's claw. The hearing room smelled of bleach and bureaucracy. Fluorescent buzz like angry bees. Harlan in khakis. Hair trimmed. The salesman scrubbed clean. His lawyer spun, reformed. Father's heart mended. Mended. The word debated in my gut. Witnesses piled. AA sponsor.
Prison chaplain.
Lila even neutral. For Elias. Co-parenting works. Works. The controversy simmered. My turn. The mic cold. Panel stone-faced. Emery Hale. Relation. Sister.
Sister.
The bond unbreakable. Unbegotten. Your statement. I paused. The room's air thick. Play safe, he's changed. Or truth. He'll flip again. The scales teetered. Harlan's cunning, I said finally. Love's fierce. Sin's fiercer. Parole? Risky. But blood's blood.
Blood.
The word hung. Controversial ambiguity. They granted it, supervised release. Ankle monitor's leash. Harlan called collect. Thanks.
Eminencia.
Oh, you.
Oh.
The ledger eternal. He moved to Lila's spare room, temporary. For Elias. Daddy time, the kid cheered.
Time.
The thief's gift. Summer sweltered. Co-parenting a tightrope. I visited Sundays. Park picnics where Harlan tossed balls, laughter forced but real. Mark hovered. Polite distance. His ring on Lila's finger now. Engaged. The flip to normalcy stung. Me the outlier. Grudge's guardian. Reynolds resurfaced. Postcard from Key West. Heard parole. Watch your back. Back. The warning itched. I dug then. Old habits, hacked contacts via a nurse buddy with IT pull. Harlan's emails, job hunts and sales, ironies bite. Feelers to podcasters for sequel rights. Sequel. The hustler unslaked. Fall rains lashed. Elias started kindergarten. Harlan driving carpool in a beater Civic, Mikey's Echo. Lila glowed. Wedding plans sketched. You maid of honor?
Honor.
The role fit uneasy. Wouldn't miss. But the crack widened Thanksgiving. Dad's new wife hosting. Turkey dry as grudges. Harlan arrived. Pie in hand. Elias on hip. Toasts clinked. To second chances. Chances. The word choked. Post-dinner. Kitchen cleanup. Dad, pull me aside. The letter, I meant it. We chose wrong.
Wrong.
The confession late. But landed. New sincere one. Thought it'd pass.
Pass.
Like a bad check. Harlan overheard. Eyes narrowing. Knew what? The air thickened. Dad stammered. I filled. About Mikey. The cover. Harlan's face twisted rage. Then cunning gleam. And, you let her burn me?
Burn.
The flip ignited. Dad shrugged. Old man weary. Protected the whole.
Whole.
The myth shattered anew. He stormed out. Elias trailing confused. Lila called later. He's packing. Says family's poison. Poison. The self-fulfilling curse. I drove over. Found him loading the Civic. Rain sheeting windshields. Running again? He turned. Eyes feral. You poisoned it.
Eminência.
Always the Avenger. Avenger. The label pinned. Elias tugged his leg. Daddy stay?
Stay.
The plea gutted. Harlan knelt. Hugged fierce. Soon.
Champ. Cliente got you. Got.
The baton passed. Controversial as abdication. He vanished to Phoenix, cousin's couch. Remote sales gig. Letters resumed. Building clean. Miss the kid.
Miss.
The word hollow. Christmas came. Lila's wedding snow-dusted perfection. Mark in tux. Elias ring-bearer. Me in silk witnessing vows. I do.
Do.
The promise solid. Spring bloomed hopeful. But Harlan's shadow lengthened. Parole officer called. Violation sniff. Unapproved travel. Travel. To Florida? I pieced. Reynolds condo. Old scores.
Scores.
The confrontation brewed. I flew south. Unannounced. Key West humidity a slap. Found them in a dive bar. Conch shells rattling like bones. Harlan leaning in. Voice low. The scholarship?
Cut it.
Or I spill your side. Blackmail enabler. Enabler. The flip vicious. Reynolds laughed. Beer foam mustache.
Boy.
You don't scare me. But his eyes flicked fear? Or flip? I stepped from shadows. He scares no one. Harlan whirled. Shocked to snarl. You.
You.
The stalker sister. Reynolds grinned. Knew you'd come.
Come.
The alliance unspoken. We talked till closing, truce brokered over conch fritters. Harlan's threat bluster. Parole fear real. I just want peace, he muttered.
Peace.
The word debated. Reynolds nodded. Ghosts don't. But we can.
Can.
The controversial pact. Live and let bury. Back north. Summer simmered. Elias asked for daddy stories. I spun sanitized quarterback hero. Not fallen. Lila honeymooned Hawaii. Mark's gift, I babysat. The kids trust a bomb. Dad visited. Grandkids his joy. You're the steady.
Eminencia.
Steady. The anchor unchained. Fall harvest moon. Harlan returned, clean slate sworn. Job at a nonprofit. Second chances ironic. Co-parenting thawed. Pickups smooth. Elias bridging. But doubt whispered. Flips lurk. Winter's eve. New Year's shift loomed. But Lila's call pulled. Elias sick. Flu?
Come. Come.
I rushed. Found fever raging. Breath shallow. Our tree of me and scrubs. Protocol blurring personal. Pneumonia, Doc said. Harlan arrived. Face ashen. My boy.
My.
The claim raw. We waited. Vending coffee bitter. Hands clasped across vinyl chairs. Remember Vegas? He whispered. That booth.
Booth.
The origin. I nodded. I'd do it different.
Different.
The admission small. Seismic. Elias rallied by dawn. Antibiotics for drip magic. Harlan hugged me post-discharge. Thanks. For everything. Everything. The ledger balanced. Uneasy. But the twist-coiled spring anonymous email. Video link. Harlan at a motel. Meeting suits. Pharma remnants. Old contacts. The note read. Flipping back. Back. The cycle spun. I confronted. His apartment sparse. Eyes wide.
Ink.
It's not. The denial wrote. I played it. He deflated. One meet. For leads. Clean now.
Clean.
The lie threadbare. A controversy peaked. Turn him in. Shatter Elias? Or cover again? Martyr Redux? Lila knocked then. Elias in tow. Family dinner?
Dinner.
The trap sprung. I chose silence that night. Plates clinking lies. But post-meal. Recorder out, phone this time. Play it, I said to all. Harlan's motel voice. Samples? Yeah. Off book. Gasps. Lila's hand to mouth. Elias confused.
Dad.
Visiting. Son. Son. The dirge. Harlan begged. For the kid.
Kid.
The shield cracked. Cops came quiet. Parole breach. No fuss. He went peaceful. Eyes on Elias. Love you. Champ. Lila wept. Mark held. I stood stone. Reynolds texted. Karma's a bitch.
Bitch.
The word owned. Summer after. Elias asked. Daddy bad? Bad. The question gutted. Human, I said.
Human.
The truth gray. Fall trials loomed. Harlan's. Distribution redux. Testimony mine. He flipped. Always does.
Does.
The pattern etched. Winter closed. Snow pure. Lila married Mark quiet. Elias flower boy. I danced. Anti-free. But the final flip? Harlan's letter from cell. M. The video? Planted. By me. To test you.
Test.
The cunning apex.
You passed.
Write the book, our story. Split proceeds. Proceeds. The offer controversial. Profit from pain? I burned it. Ashes to wind. Revenge's end? Or beginning? The book idea festered like an untreated wound. Harlan's parole gambit, a scorpion sting. Spring rains washed Columbus clean. But my mind churned. Co-author the confessional. Or let silence be the sequel. Elias turned 6 in a bounce house frenzy. Lila's backyard alive with shrieks and cake smears. Mark manned the grill. Steady as advertised. While I chased the kid. His laughter a solvent for sins. Uncle M.
Catch. Catch.
The game endless. Merciful. Lila pulled me aside mid-party. Juice box in hand. Harlan wrote, book pitch.
Pitch.
The word soured. I nodded. The video's test confessed in whispers. Her eyes hardened. The bride's glow dimmed. Don't. For us.
Us.
The family redefined. Her. Mark. Elias. Me the outlier in law. I agreed. Deleted the email chain. But the seed sprouted. Not Harlan's book.
Mine.
Unnamed. And signed. Truth's ghost. Work anchored. Peds ward a whirlwind of crayons and casts. Tiny warriors battling fevers I could fix. Dad called from Florida. Golf tan permanent. Wife's asking about grandkids. Visit. Visit. The step-family experiment. I flew south. Condo manicured. His new life a brochure, bridge games. Sunset cruises. Happy, he probed. Margaritas sweating.
Happy. Learning, I said.
Learning. The word honest. Reynolds I tracked via mutuals, a barfly contact. Key West static on the line. Book.
Don't.
Mikey's story dies twice.
Dies.
The warning paternal. What then? He paused. Conkhorn distant.
Live.
Ghosts hate mirrors. Mirrors. The reflection dodged. Summer scorched. Elias's swim lessons my Sabbath. Chlorine baptisms. Splashes erasing echoes. Harlan's trial date circled. Federal court in Cleveland. The ring's remnants on trial too. Subpoena arrived. Inevitable as tides. Lila begged off. Skip it. For Elias.
For.
The shield inverted. But duty pulled. Justice's vigilante. Or victim's echo. Courtroom hummed. Suits and sobs. Harlan entered. Jumpsuit faded. Eyes scanning for me. Found. He nodded gratitude. Defiance. Prosecutors wove. Breaches. Deals. The video test dissected as manipulation. His lawyer flipped. Desperation. Father's fear.
Fear.
The controversy fueled. Jurors split. Media split. Town via feeds split. My testimony. Stand creaking. Mic feedback whine. MS.
Hail.
Your brother's patterns. Patterns. The word clinical. Cunning survival. Flips for self. Self. The verdict hung 2 days. Headlines teasing. Pharma prodigal. Redeemed or relapsed. Relapsed. The poll viral. Guilty. 2 years added. Consecutive. Harlan's stare post-sentencing. Betrayal's mirror. Letter followed. You could have lied. For blood.
Blood.
The ink bled. Fall foliage fired Ohio gold. My manuscript bloomed in stolen hours. Laptop glow in the studio. Words pouring like catharsis. No title yet. Just chapters. The booth. The recording. The flip.
First person raw.
American grit. Ohio twang in dialogue. Vegas neon in flashbacks. The opioid underbelly exposed without preach. Beta readers? Lila first. Her red pen gentle. Healing. Not hating.
Healing.
The goal elusive. Dad read next. Florida flight for Thanksgiving. His wife's turkeys spiced wary. Proud, he said, eyes wet.
Proud.
The word reclaimed. Publish anonymous? Anonymous. The Shield final. Winter gripped. Elias's school play a nativity nod, him as shepherd. Crook oversized. I filmed. Heart swell. Post-show Coco. He asked, Daddy come home soon?
Soon.
The lie soft. When he's ready. Ready. The kid nodded. Trusting. Reynolds visited unannounced spring drive. His rental a Mustang red as warning. Coffee at a diner. Eggs over easy like truces. Read the draft.
Draft. The breach.
Mikey shines.
Shines.
The validation quiet. Finish it. For the lost.
Lost.
We clinked mugs.
Ghosts toasting.
Summer 26 baked. Manuscript submitted small press. Indie vibe. Blood ledger, the title that stuck. Advance slim. But freedom vast. Release fall. Buzz modest. Podcast probing. Book clubs debating. Heroine or harpy, the reviews split.
Harpy.
The label stung. Spark sales. Harlan heard inside. Contraband copy smuggled. Letter. Twist ending? Me the villain? Villain. The self-portrait. Right back. Elias needs uncle's stories. Stories. The bridge tentative. Lila's wedding anniversary bash marks promotion. Backyard lit with lanterns. Elias recited lines from my book. Mangled but proud. Uncle M's a writer. Writer. The kid's crown. But the climax crested October. Book tour stop in Cleveland, reading at an indie shop. A crowd eclectic. Nurses nodding. Locals glaring. Q&A heated. Revenge porn or reckoning? Reckoning. My answer. Both. No one's clean. Post-event. Alley smoke break. Harlan's parole officer approached, off-duty. Beer in hand. Your bro? Talking deal again. Feds want more names.
More.
The cycles whisper. I laughed.
Bitter.
Let him flip. Last time. Homebound. The call came, Lila. Voice quake. Elias, hit by a car. Bike path. Stable. But. The word eviscerated. I sped. Our lights blurring. My ward now battlefield personal. Fractured femur. Concussion, kid tough. But tears carved. Harlan arrived cuffed, escorted visit. Monitor beeping. My boy. My. The claim fractured. We waited. Hands linked across vinyl redux. The book, he whispered. Brought this.
This.
The curse?
No.
Us.
Us.
The truth gray. Elias woke groggy. Grins through pain meds. Uncle M. Daddy, team. Team. The kid's verdict. Harlan nodded. Eyes on me. Truce?
Truce.
Controversial as dawn. Recovery stretched, cast signed, therapy treks. Harlan paroled early, compassionate. For family crisis. He moved in temporary. Couch surf in Lila's. Co-parenting 2.0. Mark mediated. Steady I hovered. Anti-sentinel. Fall waned. Leaves to mulch. Book hit steady sales. Adaptation whispers. Netflix. The absurdity peaked. Reynolds called. Ending? Open. Open. The debate fodder. Winter solstice. Family dinner. Expanded. Dad's wife. Mark's folks. Elias centerpiece. Toasts clinked. To flip survived.
Survived.
Harlan raised glass. Eyes mine. To Emery, the real ledger. Ledger. Balanced.
At last?
But the twist landed spring, DNA test. Lila's whim post-bike scare. Results. Elias not Harlan's. Mark's affair during Harlan's first stint. The teacher's charm predating. New. Harlan asked. Face crumple. Lila shook head. Guessed. Stayed for stability. Stability. The flip hers. Hidden. Controversy exploded. Harlan raged. Then deflated. Not my blood. But my boy.
Boy.
The choice pure. He stayed. Uncle de facto. The family mosaic mended odd. I watched from porch. River mist rising. Revenge's arc? Not vengeance. But velocity, hurtling through betrayals to this. Flawed kin. Laughing over pancakes. The book ends there. Open as life. Readers debate. Justice served. Or just deferred.
Me?
I close the laptop. Step into sun. No more recordings. Just living, American as apple pie. Cracked but sweet.